Name's Todd McNeil. I'm chief at Twainhart, California. For the last 12 years, I've been on the Central Sierra Type 2 incident management team as a division and now working in operations. And that's kind of where the story starts for the Southfork deployment. The Southfork fire was in Yosemite National Park. It started in a very remote location on the South Fork of the Merced River. When the team took over from Yosemite fire for suppression operations, we realized that because of the remote location and the difficult access, in conjunction with the timber mortality issues that have impacted the Southern Sierra, that we were going to have some challenges with containment and control. Aircraft is difficult in the tight river canyons due to smoke occlusion. Exposure to the timber stand that has now been dead for a couple of years and is starting to show structural weakness and exposing the troops unnecessarily to risk from snag hazards. Big challenge was thrown by Mother Nature was a thunderstorm came right over the top and blew it apart. And we knew it was coming, but there's nothing really you can do with it. And some very dramatic time-lapse photography that showed the impact of downdraft or thundercell collapse blowing fire everywhere. And now we lost our primary containment line. We had a contingency line, and it was right in the back door of the community of Wawona. It was that moment that I realized, hey, why don't I engage the network? Why don't I call down to my friends at Menlo Park? And if I could get all these people to sign off on this, we could cut down the time. And it was a running around camp, getting everybody connected, and in 2 hours we got the signatures, and I was able to call and say, guys, pack and roll. We're doing this. The guys from Menlo came up and brought their aircraft, and we were able to fly that night and get kind of our bearings, and then we made some adjustments that next day and began to engage in nighttime unconflicted airspace, right? We didn't want to try to tackle the daytime ops. We wanted to fly in unconflicted airspace. We started out in the evenings after shift had ended and was trying to support the night shift, and then it became obvious that flying in the morning IR flights just prior to the day shift coming on the line, patrolling those key pieces of line right behind the community of Wawona and right along the South Fork River. So if we lost it across the river, then it was sending it up towards the grove of giant sequoias, and if we lost it on that west flank, it was going right into the community.
This was a really good opportunity for us to prove some of our technology and use it for good. Try to get some situational awareness and possibly help with some of the operational decisions from the pilot. Meeting up with crews in the morning, outgoing crews, kind of scratching their head, going, what are these guys doing? And as soon as I could show them some of the footage, they were like, hey, can I get that? How old is that? Can you get that to me? So I'm meeting with them as they're going out in the morning, and I'm airdropping them footage, brand new footage of stuff, places they're about to go. That kind of sold the program right then and there to the ops manager. He told me later. It brought his blood pressure from about 200 down to about 100. He was really happy. And then from there, we continue to do good work.
So we flew in the morning, we flew IR, we flew several key missions, fixed flight plans, captured the video, and right as the hot shots and ground resources engine companies were showing up to work the day shift, we were able to download less than an hour, 30 minutes old, true IR data and give them bearings of geographic features and lineal distances to heat signatures or problems of concern. The whole thing came together perfectly. And using that to give good briefings to the crew, to then target very specifically where the hazards and the risks were and the threats to the line, and go out, minimal exposure, quick, get in and get out. And together with that technology, risk management, we saw what I believe one of the most powerful examples of how new technology can directly translate to field ops, increased safety and efficiency.